Welcome to another episode of Bish Dog Maths. Today we're continuing on with the non-right angle triangle trigonometry. This time we are finding the missing angles. Okay, so there we have the non-right angle triangle. Now we also use the sine rule. Okay, now this time, unlike the finding a side, we're finding an angle, we have the sine at the top. So you have the matching pairs. So for this one, we're finding this one here. Okay, so we have this pair, which is sine angle B, and then this is side B. Okay, the side's always opposite. And then we have this pair, which is angle A and side A. Okay, because that's opposite. So sine at the top for angles. Okay, sine A divided by sine side A is equal to sine of angle B divided by side B. Okay, so they're the two pairs we have. So now we fill it out with what we have. Sine A is 59, so sine of 59 equals, or divided by 2.5 is equal to sine of angle B, which we don't know, and divided by 2.7. So they're the same thing. We can't do this one because we don't know what that is yet, but we've got everything we need to do this one. So get the calculator. Sine of 59 equals divided by 2.5. Okay, so this one is, the answer to that is 0.34. Okay, 28. I'm going to leave that on the calculator. Remember, when you press sine of 59, press equals, then divide it by 2.5, or close the brackets. But you don't want sine of 59 divided by 2.5 as one thing. So this is 0.34, that means this is 0.34, but we are after just this bit. So if that's 0.34, but divided by 2.7, if we do the opposite of dividing by 2.7, which is timesing by 2.7, we'll be left with just the sine of the angle. So I'm going to get this answer I just got here and times it by 2.7. Okay, now, so that gives me, so I've times it by 2.7, and I'm left with the sine of the angle, which equals 0.93, and a few others. But that's not an angle, is it? I mean, it looks a bit weird because that is the sine of the angle. So now I do inverse sine. So I leave this on the screen, but I inverse sine it. So I press shift, or second function on some calculators, sine equals, okay? So inverse sine of the 0.93 equals 67.8. Now this is an angle, so it's degrees with our angles. I've rounded to the nearest whole degree, which would be 68 degrees. Okay, so this guy here is 68 degrees. All right, so just find your matching pairs. There's always one pair they give you, A in this case, and then there's one pair they give you half of the information. So we had a side, didn't have an angle. And when you're doing the sine rule for angles, sine bit at the top. Obviously, if you're doing sides, you put the angles down the bottom, the sides at the top. Okay, figure out the one you do know, and then that's equal to it. Identify the top, the angle part, by timesing it by what you're about to divide it by, and that gives you that answer in then inverse sine the answer and you get the actual angle. All right, thanks.